The word impact is a very loaded one. It means creating a strong impression, an impression that makes a difference. But it's a very loaded term now in cricketing circles because it is coming under some serious fire. The impact player rule was introduced by the BCCI, the Indian board, last year into the Indian T20 League. Now, teams may have taken a while to warm up to it, but this season has definitely seen them finally getting the hang of it to maximize the benefits of this rule. But what's that done is created unrest among players. Why though? Let me explain. Now, before that, let's understand what the basic rule is. It suggests that a team can replace one player in their innings at any point, going by the situation they find themselves in. So if the batting lineup has suddenly misfired, they'll get in an extra batter or substitute an extra bowler later while defending a steep target. The first and most odd thing about this rule is that it means two players are essentially not playing an entire match. They are in it just for either bowling 4 overs or batting for a few overs. So the whole idea of 11 versus 11 players playing a match, the idea of a match simulation and going through the motions of a game is taken out completely. That's exactly what star player for the Gujarat franchise, David Miller, expressed recently.
Everyone has got their opinions about it, but for me, I am not a massive fan of the impact player rule. The game of cricket has 11 players and it would be nice to stick to that. It's creating 6 bowlers and 8 batters, taking all-rounders out of contention. As Rohit mentioned, it is not the same in international cricket, so we should keep the same.
The other more prominent backlash that this rule is facing now is that it is essentially killing an added skill set of a player. Someone like Shivam Dube, who came into the scene as an all-rounder, doesn't bowl at all. He only bats because Chennai gets in an extra proper bowler in place of a pure bat to pad up their bowling. Akshar Patel, an all-rounder in the Delhi franchise, is not being used as a proper all-rounder. His batting has been affected because he has to bat at a different position now. So the skills of an all-rounder has been the most hard hit due to this impact player rule. Rohit Sharma, the Team India captain and who's now playing for the Mumbai franchise, recently highlighted this very concern on a podcast.
I'm not a big fan of impact sub-rule. It is going to hold all-rounders back. Eventually, cricket is played by 11 players, not 12 players. You are taking out so much from the game to make it entertaining for people around. If you look just from the cricketing aspect of it, I feel guys like Shivam Dube and Washington Sundar aren't getting to bowl, which for us is not a good thing.
But former cricketers like Sourav Ganguly and David Warner have a different take on this. Ganguly's opinion is clear. It's basically gets the think tanks of all the teams to pick their best in the 11, and that also includes the best all-rounders. So if you're not one of the best, then you won't get a look in.
I don't think it diminishes the all-rounder. Good all-rounders are still playing, isn't it? Hardik Pandya is still playing. You look at Rashid, he's still playing. He's in the 11 straight away. So the good ones will always play as they contribute either with the bat or with the ball.
But the larger issue is not just whether you make it to the playing level 11 of an IPL side as a proper all-rounder. Are your skills being showcased, which could make a case for the national team? That's a cause for concern for many young all-rounders there, because let's face it, the IPL and how well you do here as a young cricketer is the benchmark now to be selected into the national side to make that transition. And yes, there is a World Cup around the corner, and this is pretty much the audition. The other skill set that's again feeling the pinch is that of the bowlers. The impact player rule has emboldened the batters so much now that they play more fearlessly. They swing hard at any delivery. That's the requirement now, and the flat pitches here again are just adding on to it. And of course, there's little wiggle room for a bowler then. Mohammad Siraj may have smiled and suggested the board do away with the impact player rule, but it's definitely hurt him this season. So who's benefiting by this? That's the question. Why? I mean, coaches, of course, are benefiting. They have been given more margins to tinker the game with, more options. There's more flexibility in planning and strategizing, and you're able to use the bench strength more smartly.
This impact player is taking the all-rounders out of the game a little bit. You know you can play your specialist batsman down till number 8 pretty much. But look, I think for a coach and for the players, it's probably not ideal. But I think you know a lot of what this game tries to do is to entertain people.
But guess who this is benefiting the most? why fans and viewers, of course, entertainment value in return is massive. And as long as that is high, experts believe the board may not want to rethink this at all. The fans, the spectators, and those who've invested in the sport believe there's nothing that is amiss here. There's a lot of runs, there's huge targets, a lot of sixes scored, so what could be wrong? But let's be a bit honest here. The game, at least here in this league, owing to this rule, is getting a little more skewed in favor of the batter. And that there is something to chew on. We want talented cricketers to come out every year from every part of the world. Cricketers who want to pick up the cricket ball just as passionately as they would a cricket bat. Because who doesn't like the sight of a Jasprit Bumrah castling the stumps as much as that of Rohit Sharma pulling someone for a six?